Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos that are the paid request, this time for Bobby. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for a film called A Janitor, which some say is 2021, others say is 2022. And this is one of those films that I watched. It was on Tubi for free. It was there. You know, I saw it once. I would never see it again. It's a time waster at best. It's one of those things that if you've seen enough of these movies, nothing in this really stands out from the pack. I guess other than the guy being a janitor. But I mean, I could watch Willy's Wonderland for that with Nicolas Cage. Because the plot is a kid sees his dad die. Soon after, he's adopted by the mob boss. Mob boss raises him up, and of course raises him up to be an assassin. Nowadays, he's a janitor at a high school, and he's watching over the mob boss's daughter, who has his boyfriend. You also have these asshole other kids that do these juvenile things, like they're lighting firecrackers on their ass, and the other guy's like, your ass hair stinks. I don't know if you needed that kind of humor in this movie. And they're picked on the janitor, but he doesn't fight back, even though we know he can. You just tell. So one day you have this guy who's a very antsy, very twitchy guy. He's always twitching like this, very excitable. And he is supposed to be another possible leader of this group of leaders. But the head guy's saying you have to close your business down because we need a little like more reputable, what the word is, more respectable business, so the cops aren't on our ass as much. The guy gets, and what is he antsy and twitchy? He's got some kind of issues. He's like doing this, he's hopping around, all this stuff. So I forgot his name, so I'll call him Twitchy. So Twitchy and his buddy come up with a plan. They get the janitor and they tell him the truth. They tell him the truth of, your dad was murdered by this guy who raised you. Your dad and him had a falling out. One thing led to another. The guy killed your dad. Are you going to get revenge for your dad? What are you going to do? And the guy believes it fairly quickly. You think that you would take a bit more from him to be like, why should I believe you? What proof do you have? Because he doesn't really have any proof. It's just he says it, and 10 seconds later, the janitor believes him. So one thing leads to another. The lead guy, the janitor, goes to the boss, pretty much to get confirmation that it's true. The mob boss pretty much says, come on, shoot me. Come on, you don't do something, shoot me. Guy can't do it. Twitchy's buddy comes in, shoots the guy. The janitor gets pissed and shoots that assassin. And the guy's like, what are you doing? They comforts his, even though the guy killed your dad, I guess because, hey, this guy still raised you. He's got some kind of love, respect for the guy. I didn't get it, but okay. And the guy says, protect my daughter. No matter what. Later on, that mob boss had another son. Like, he has the daughter in school, but he had another son who's been out of his mind. He's heard that the dad has been killed. He comes back to take ownership. In order to do so, first he takes care of Twitchy, which I thought that guy was going to be a much bigger part of the movie. But the fact he gets killed so early was kind of surprising and also kind of disappointing. It seemed like they were building up this character to be more, more of a threat, more of a villain, but not really the case. Instead, it's this son who very kind of non-threatening looking. He looks like, I don't know, coffee shop owner or something. You've got glasses. Always got this smiling demeanor. Older, I would say, kind of like in his 40s. A little bit nerdy looking, but he's willing to kill in cold blood just like that. And it takes a bit for the action to really get into place here. And like I said, stuff you kind of seen before. The lead character with the past, his ties with the mob boss that is not all on the up and up. Of course, something to deal with his past. Protector of a younger individual, in this case, the guy's daughter. Other movies would just be your bodyguard. Again, the only difference here is that he's a janitor at the school. And not one of those things where he uses a lot of his janitor material, like the using his mop or using his other items to kill and fuck up bad guys. No, not really. Not even anything that creative with it. And the third act of the film is pretty much, we're at school. Most of the kids are gone. There's only a handful of people left. There's the janitor, there's the girl, there's her boyfriend, there's a few other kids in there. And the son, aka that girl's half brother, calls in some assassins. You have an older guy who's a sniper. You have these two girls that I guess they were in a film called Baby Assassins, which I never saw. And based on the behavior, never cared to because they were really fucking irritating. It's like they're, I don't know, 20 some, but they're acting like they're 8 years old. Got really annoying quick. This guy who's like a serial killer who just goes and shoots and then asks weird questions like, huh, that's weird, that's crazy. Very nonchalant about it. One who's kind of working with the main bad guy. He's got a black suit on, but he's also looked at as a bit of an imbecile. Which, for a guy that I don't remember seeing much in the first 2/3 of the film, he plays a fairly primary bit in the third act. I thought that kind of came out of left field. Just like, who's this guy and where did he come from? And maybe it was properly built in the first 2/3 of the film that were worked out a bit better. Like, maybe if that was the twitchy guy. And yeah, he seems twitchy and like he's harmless, but there's a lot more to him than you think. Like, pretty much, there's about, I don't know, 9 or so assassins, and you get some decent action. Spoiler alert, the guy who's the killer with the glasses, the janitor takes him out quick with a net snap. He fights the two girls in the library. He takes some books down, shoots one in the head. Gets in a fight with the other, able to grab her and break her neck. Decent fight. Decent choreography. There's these two guys who try to get the girl, but then the guy in the black suit, I thought he just beat him up, but I guess he killed him. There's one guy he just shoved to a wall. The other guy literally just kicked or punched, but I guess he killed both of them. I don't know how, but okay. The sniper guy, he gets killed by the main boss, the main baddie, because the guy's like, fine, I'll do it myself. I don't need you. I'm not going to pay you. Well, you're not going to pay me? And then he shoots the guy. Then there's these other two guys who, one beats up the janitor and then he gets a knife and stabs the guy in the dick. And the other guy, The other guy, he looks at the janitor and does this Roman Reigns pound to the ground, ready to do a super punch. But he goes up, and the janitor quickly takes him down and kills him. So that's a bit anticlimactic. So, like, fight scene wise, with the lead guy, really the only intricate ones are the one he fights one of the baby assassins, girls, and then fighting this black suit guy that we didn't know who he was until the third act. I think decent choreography, but nothing you haven't seen in a show of other martial arts films. Spoiler, the main bad guy shoots that guy in the back. Because, hey, no witnesses. Fuck you more for me. He wants the girl because the girl, she needed to get to the safe that has all the documents for him to own the business completely. But the janitor's still alive, shoots the guy. The guy's surprised, what? Boom, 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 shoots him. Just seemed a bit too quick for that guy. Seemed like that bad guy needed a lot more to suffer as a death, but it is what it is. She tries to carry him. He's like, I'm too wounded. Some other things happen. They say their goodbyes. He tries to light a cigarette. It falls. He's like, just not my day. And then you don't know if he dies or not. Because there's a long shot of the hallway. He's kind of looking over, away from the camera. It's a long, wide shot. And you don't know if he dies, if he lives. You assuming he dies because of his wounds. It's ambiguous, which wasn't really that satisfying. And then the movie ends. It's just not really that memorable or that unique. I mean, the fact it's called A Janitor kind of fits because it's a very generic title for a fairly generic movie. I think that's really the issue. It's just too generic of a film. There's not much of his own identity. You've seen this type of film over and over again. Now, granted, there are films that are the same way. Sorry, and I can still enjoy, but they have to have some kind of vigor, some kind of energy, a much faster pace, a lot more action or action set pieces. It's not really the case here. The lead guy is fine. It's just pretty much got the deer in the headlights. Not much emotion on his face for most of it. And then when he's talking with his boss or his adoptive dad, he's shy and nervous and doesn't say much. The girl he's protecting is all right. She's a regular girl, and then when, spoiler, her boyfriend dies, she's a wreck and she's crying a lot and doesn't want to move, and the guy has to get her to go with him. Come with me if you want to live, pretty much. The assassins, other than the two girls who act like they're 10 years old, at least one of them does. The other acts a little bit more mature, but the other one acts like she's 10 years old. The others don't really have much personality. Okay, the old guy who's a sniper, he takes a few shots and then later on dies. The serial killer, he comes in shooting a couple random people and then quickly gets killed. Like, not even a fight. Just boom, crack, that's it. Two of the guys don't even fight the lead guy. They fight the guy in the black suit. I just had to show that the guy in the black suit is forced to deal with. And again, that guy, like, why didn't we get that set up in the first 2/3? Like, he knew the guy or this and that. Maybe it was, and I don't remember. Maybe he did, and I don't remember. If so, I apologize. That's my fault. Oh, he was that guy. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I know there's a scene early on where he's doing a mission and then another guy comes in and goes, "That's mine," and then they get a phone call. Maybe that was the guy who we didn't see in the third act. If so, if that's the case, I barely make the connection, and I just then it seemed like just disappeared after that. I just I can see why I guess a 5.5. I would give it a little bit lower. It's not an awful, terrible movie. It's not too overlong of a movie. It's just if you've seen one movie like this, you've seen it before. You'll see it again. You've seen it done much better. So it's time waster, disposable entertainment that, eh. I've seen much worse. I've seen much better. Would not make any best or worst list. It's just kind of there. And like I said, with a ending that's ambiguous that it need to be, and it takes a while for it to get going, and there's not a whole lot to the characters, and like I said, not a whole lot of action for the first 50 minutes, hour of the movie. Just kind of, like I said, ho hum film, I would say. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.